So I've been at this collecting thing a while now, and I got some regrets. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken. Today, guys, we are here to talk about some physical media regrets. Okay, these are titles, releases that I regret buying. Now, I'm not saying that I'm necessarily looking to get rid of these. They're in the collection, they're here, but maybe I would be open to getting rid of some of these. I just say that because so I get a lot of comments usually, well, Ken, sell it, sell it off. Look, I'm just kind of busy and I just don't have time to list stuff and sell stuff. If somebody wants to reach out to me, it's like, I want to pay you for that, or I want that, how much you offer, like we may make a deal. Anyway, I'm getting off track already. We're talking about some purchases that maybe thinking about things now. I just made a video talking about how I'm going to try to do better with some of my purchases, how I'm really going to think about things, just knowing what I know now. Some of my purchases in the past, would I make those same purchases now that I did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? And if I think about it like that, and I think to myself, no, I wouldn't do that now, then those technically count as regrets. Right now, some of these are kind of recent. So they're kind of like I said, I'm changing my mindset rather quickly, rather rapidly right now on what I purchase. And I've been look, collecting is there's an evolution there, right? Like if you've been collecting for a long time, you probably understand the evolution, like where you were in the beginning, where you're at now, completely different. Now I've been collecting on the scale that I'm collecting now for close to 10 years. And some of you all been doing it for 40, 50. I mean, I had a DVD collection back in the 2000s, in the 90s. I bought VHS tapes, I collected stuff, but I wouldn't have called myself a collector back then. I was just buying movies that I liked and that I wanted to watch. Like that's what I was doing. But that's a different thing. That's a whole different animal. And some of you guys out there will be like, well, that's exactly what I do now. I only buy the movies that I like. And that's great for you. I'm happy for you. But collecting, like when you really get into the nitty gritty of collecting and when you start going beyond the movies and you start making purchasing decisions based on packaging, based on features, based on a variety of things other than just the movie itself, that's a whole different thing, in my opinion. So I've been doing that, diving more into that area in the past 10 years, and I've never really been like that in the past. Like I was always get the basic, most bare bones edition, and that's it. But again, I've made some bad decisions. I'll admit that. I don't think that will be too big of a shock to you all who's been watching me for a long period of time, that I've made some bad purchases and bad purchasing decisions and some stuff that I would regret later on down the line. Now, I've always said, yeah, I may regret it later, but as of right now, I wanted it, so I got it. And that's just the way it is sometimes, guys. We all buy stuff and use our money in ways that I'm sure in 10 years we're gonna regret. That just happens. That's just life. I doubt that there's anybody out there that has used their money perfectly from the second that they started making money. I doubt that there's anybody out there like that. Maybe there's one or two, but there's very few. But anyway, guys, before we get into it, I've rambled for 4 minutes, but I like to set everything up, guys. I like to let you guys know what the point of the video is, but like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section below, guys. I really want to know, like, are there purchases that you've made maybe recently, maybe in the past 2 or 3 years, that you wouldn't make again, that you wouldn't do again? Or do you have regrets? I guess is what I'm saying. Let me know that. And let's kick things off, like pretty much like where I would say my collecting started. When I discovered that Best Buy was doing these collectible steelbooks, like I was really into Marvel, like leading up to Infinity War and Endgame. Like I watched the movies like since Iron Man came out, but I really started to get into them pretty hot and heavy, I'd say, around the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was around the time I was getting back into collecting, buying Blu-rays, and getting into 4K. That came out in 2016. And a lot of these I think came out in 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. And I would go to Best Buy and I would get the steelbook versions of a lot of these movies. I got the Steelbook of Avengers Endgame. I got the Steelbook of Infinity War. But in addition to that, I would also get the Target editions. And I think at the time, well, I think Infinity War and Endgame, like the Target editions were 4K, but they're for a brief period. Or maybe not a brief period, but like leading up to, I guess, when they would start to do the 4K releases, Target editions would be Blu-ray. So I remember Thor Ragnarok, which I got the Target edition of, Wonder Woman, which I got the Target edition of, and the 4K Steelbooks because I was buying both. Like I got it in my head. I was like, oh, I'm going to get both of these collectible packages. I'm going to open one. I'm going to leave one wrap. My Target editions, a lot of them are still sealed, guys. And that's kind of where my collecting mindset started, was those editions. Because I wasn't shopping a lot online at that point. I didn't know a ton about the boutique labels and some of those collections and things like that. Just in store back in those days. But I got the Ant-Man and the Wasp Steelbook, and I didn't care about the artwork. I didn't care how bad it was because this is not great. This is not great artwork. And I mean, Disney's kind of notoriously kind of not had great artwork on some of their Steelbook releases. But this one is just the most egregious. And I think that I talked about the Incredibles 2 Steelbook numerous times on the channel. In fact, I think I made a video just like this maybe like 3 years ago where I was talking about some physical media regrets. But this is maybe the worst steelbook in my collection. I still have it. I still have it. It's a freaking washing machine with the Incredibles outfit inside, and you got a freaking laundry basket on the back. This is just the worst designed steelbook ever. I think I got comments on that video when I made it a few years ago. It's like, oh, I actually like that steelbook. And you know, I'll look. Do I have any takers? $100. I'll give you this steelbook. I'm sure it's worth less than that. I haven't really looked at the price. I don't really check the prices of some of the stuff that I have. Maybe I should more often, but this one also was pretty freaking awful. The Ralph Breaks the Internet Steelbook and the first like Wreck-It Ralph Steelbook and the first Incredible Steelbook, those were amazing. The first Wreck-It Ralph Steelbook, I didn't bring it over here, but it's like shaped like an arcade machine and it's freaking awesome. I love that Steelbook. That's one of my favorites. The Incredibles one is like a silhouette image of all them running, and it's got some really awesome like oranges and reds and yellows on it. It's got some really cool artwork. But these are not it. These suck. And honestly, like the Ant-Man one sucks, and the Infinity War one, I don't even think this is good. That's Thanos with the gauntlet, but I don't like that one all that much either. And this one's kind of basic and boring too. Avengers Endgame. So I would not, if I had it to do again, honestly, I would have just got the slipcover versions, you know, because like when I buy a Marvel movie now, it's just the slipcover versions. And I'm just more into slipcovers. Like when it comes to studio releases, just give me the slipcovers. Yes, I'll buy steelbooks every now and then. I'll get steelbooks like Lionsgate for the most part. I'll do steelbooks, or when Sony and Disney force me to only get steelbooks, I'll do that. But I'm a slipcover guy, like first and foremost now. I'm not like super into steelbooks. And when I first got back into like collecting hardcore Blu-ray and 4K, I got bit by the steelbook bug, and I felt like I needed to get the steelbooks because that was the collector thing to do, and that's what I was getting into. But going back, like I would not have gotten these steelbooks. If I knew what I knew now, I would not have gotten these steelbooks, or probably the Target editions either. I would have just got the standard 4K slipcovers. Now, getting into some other releases, guys. I just got this one last year, and I wouldn't buy this again. I would not buy this again, especially knowing what I know now. The Trick or Treat 4K from Synops Films and Red Shirt Pictures. This thing cost me 75 bucks. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? Because I enjoyed the movie. I thought it looked good on 4K, and I loved the special feature. The documentary was incredible. But guess what happened? Okay, Synops released a standard version. That's going for 25 bucks right now. I actually got that version and for free from MVD because I'm a part of the MVD review program. They sent that to me. So I would have got it anyway from them to talk about on the channel and review just that standard edition 4K. I didn't have to spend $75 to get a box set because this movie doesn't really mean that much to me. I know it did for some people. I'd never seen it before. It was a first time watch. So I do kind of regret this purchase because it was $75. Yeah, it's a cool item that I have in my collection now, a cool collectible that I have in my collection now. That's awesome. But like the movie, I am trying to move more towards the mindset of the movie needs to mean something to me, to get a cool collectible like version of it. Like I've really been passing on stuff that does not mean something. I did not get the Beyond because of the same reason. Sure, I could watch the Beyond and I could love the Beyond and then it could mean something to me. But I don't want to spend $75 on a box set when I don't know if the movie's going to mean something to me or not. at that point because I watched this on 4K. I enjoyed it, but the movie still doesn't mean anything to me. So why do I have a big box set of the movie when it has no like meaning to me? So I didn't get the Beyond. I don't love Reanimator like a lot of people do. So I didn't get the $80, $90 4K box set. Again, I'm trying to shift my mindset to not feel like I need to get some of this stuff just because it's awesome packaging and it's going to be a cool exclusive limited edition to have in the collection that's going to be worth money in a few years. I'm trying to shift that mindset because that's a very dangerous place to be. That is a very dangerous place to be. But yeah, Trick or Treat, I wouldn't have got this box set. It's cool, it's awesome, but I wouldn't have got it again. Knowing what I know now, especially that standard edition is 25 bucks. Even if I was paying for it, 25 bucks versus 75. Come on. So back in the day, I'd say 2 or 3 years ago, I was trying to get every Scream Factory 4K that came out. I've completely backed off of that. I may get like, I think I might have gotten like 7 or 8, maybe 10 Scream Factory 4K releases last year, and they probably did 60. So I only got 10 of them, or maybe they did 50 or something like that. I was the same way with Kino too, and I've kind of backed off of feeling like I need to get all the 4Ks of that because it gets to a point where it's like there's 8 4Ks coming out a month. I can't keep up with that. I can't. But back when I was trying to get every single one, I got this movie called Bubba Hotep. And I laugh because this movie has kind of become synonymous with me and my channel because I made an entire video about how I needed to stop blind buying because I bought this and I did not like this movie. I know that this movie has its fan base. You know, Don Coscarelli, who did the Phantasm films, people love him and they love everything he does. And I get that. This movie, maybe I'll watch it again in a few years and maybe I'll like it a lot. I don't know. That's why it still remains on the shelf. I have a hard time letting stuff go. That's another thing I need to try to fix moving forward. But as of right now, it still sits on the shelf. It's the only edition of this movie that I have. But I got this and I watched it and I was like, God, this movie is so incredibly boring. Bruce Campbell's not even good in it. I thought it was like the Evil Dead version of like, you know, Elvis fighting mummies, undead mummies. Like I just thought it was going to be more like Evil Dead just because Bruce Campbell's in it, which is kind of an unfair, I guess, you know, way to expectation to assign to a film that I haven't seen before, really knowing nothing about it. Um, but I did not like this movie at all. I thought the 4K picture quality was not very good. And I don't remember there being that good of special features on here either. But I mean, I think all the special features were the same as the Blu-ray that came out. So maybe I could have just got this on Blu-ray, could have watched it on streaming. But I bought the 4K. I made a whole video about it. And I'm sure people will give me shit in the comment section below for this video because I got a ton of shit in that video. Again, I'm not trying to say that that you shouldn't love this movie. I just don't. Okay, it's all opinion, guys. It's all subjective. But I did not like Bubba Hotep, and I'm kind of look again, knowing what I know now. There's a lot of stuff that Scream Factory puts out that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't get that because I haven't seen it. And knowing that now and having that perspective, I don't think I would have got this back in the day. So this is a regret for sure. Next up is one that I bought last year, and that is Kathy's Curse. I actually bought the whole like package set from Severin Films that cost me like $170 to $180. I got The Devil's Honey, I got Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which was an okay movie, but I already had the Code Red release, and then I got The Great Alligator. And I haven't watched The Devil's Honey, I haven't watched The Great Alligator, and I haven't watched Kathy's Curse yet. And I got this because I got caught up in the hype. It was a freaking light up slipcase where her eyes is supposed to glow green. Watch, guys, this is really cool. Oh, what's going on? It's not working? It's not working because Severin put out a broken box set? Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember now. That's another reason why I regret this. The freaking glowing eyes, which this is supposed to have. I'll try to put an image in of somebody's that actually works. It does not have. So it's a completely pointless release without the eyes glowing green. Maybe this movie's okay. I honestly haven't heard the best things about Kathy's Curse, but maybe it's okay. And I'll watch it at some point. But did I need this box set? I did not. I could have got a standard Blu-ray of this movie on sale somewhere down the line. And I think this release, like by itself, was like 50 something bucks. So it's a broken box set. Yeah, they gave me a $10 gift certificate, which I used to buy Opera on 4K, which I haven't watched yet. I haven't watched that, which I will. I don't regret that release, but this one from Severin, I do. I regret the whole package, honestly, because Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker is good, but I probably would have enjoyed it just as much on Blu-ray. I don't think it really needed a 4K. Kind of didn't look too great. But Kathy's Curse is the one I regret the least because, you know, again, they did not deliver on their promise. The eyes are supposed to glow. They don't. It's a broken box set. This one's a recent one. I bought this in January just because the cover looked cool. And I'm like, oh, cool, 80s slasher. I'll buy this from Vinegar Syndrome. Iced. And I have really cooled it on my Vinegar Syndrome purchases. I'm not doing as many blind buys because I got this for 30 bucks. I didn't need to get this for 30 bucks. I think the slipcover sold out, so this might be worth something now, worth more than 30 bucks. But I popped this in. I watched 5 minutes of it. And I'm like, oh, this is shot on video. Oh my God, this looks awful. And I just couldn't stomach it. I took it out. I'm like, life's too short. Like that's kind of where I'm at now, guys. I'm going to be 40 this year. Like if I'm watching something I'm not enjoying, life's too short. I'm taking that shit out and I'm putting it to the side and I'm putting something in that I might enjoy more. You know, but yeah, this is probably on Tubi. I could have watched it on there if I was like really curious. Did I have to get a $30 edition of this just for a cool slipcover? Which it's cool. I mean, you got a snowman on the back. Maybe that scene's cool in the movie, but the movie looked like dog shit just from the 5 minutes that I watched of it. So yeah, really trying to cool it though on my Vinegar Syndrome blind buying. There's a difference if it's a sale, if I can get it for 15 bucks, if I can get it for 10 bucks, and some of those subscriber week sales, 12 bucks, or even like 18 bucks. But 30, I didn't need to get ice for 30. This was a dumb purchase that I did back in January. Again, I'm changing my mindset very rapidly. We got a Vinegar Syndrome sale coming up, and I'm going to try to get some stuff in that, but it has to be a good price. I can't pay $30 for bullshit anymore. I just can't. But there you go, guys. Iced. That's one I regret. Another Vinegar Syndrome purchase is The Prophecy. And this one came out, I think, at the end of 2023. And I watched the first Prophecy. I thought it was okay. You know, I thought it was okay. And I heard the sequels are worse. So I was like, okay, well, if I thought the first one was just okay, I'm probably not going to like the sequels too much. But this is kind of a bullshit box set. It's got a cool, like, diagonal, you know, pull apart box set thing going on. And you got a cool slipcover on the inside as well. But like, there's no booklet in here, which is kind of a standard when you're doing box sets. This release was like 80 bucks. And, you know, cool artwork on the cover right there. But the first one's on 4K. And then you got the sequels split on a disc. You got two movies on 4K on the same disc, which I'm sure they still look fine. They're shorter films. But you got the Blu-rays as well. So it's a 4-disc set right here. But the thing about this one is no booklet, so I just don't think the box set was worth 80 bucks. And I don't think a lot of people thought it was worth it either, because a few months later, this thing went on sale, and it was on sale for like $40, like in one of the Vinegar Syndrome sales. So it's like, if I really wanted this box, I could have got it on sale because it was still in stock. I don't know if it's still in stock at this point, but it was still in stock and I could have got it later on for 40 bucks. So I definitely regret. I got caught up in the hype. I got this and something else, the David Cronenberg movie that I'm blanking on the title. And it just cost me way too much. I'm like, why am I getting stuff like this? I didn't even enjoy these movies. Like, what's going on? I could have got this for 40 bucks. Like, if I just wanted the cool collectible pull apart packaging, I could have done it later. All right, guys. So I promise not to be picking on Vinegar Syndrome the whole time. There's going to be other labels I talk about, and I've got no like set number of titles I'm talking about. I'm just talking about stuff. I may do a volume 2 of this because there's more stuff that you guys can imagine I regret in my collection. These are two A24 movies that I got because I was on this kick where I thought I needed to get all the A24 Blu-rays with the slipcover. I used to talk about it all the time when I did Blu-ray hunts, but that was back when like the A24 movies were in Target for 13 bucks and a lot of them were good. Then they started to do not so good movies and I was buying those too. This is a movie called On the Rocks. And the thing about this one is it's got Bill Murray in it. I watched this on streaming and I hated it. And I still bought it. Why did I buy a movie that I hate? It was like 12 bucks in Target. But again, I was like, I got to buy all the A24s with the slipcover. So that's why I got it. But I hated the movie. It's still in the plastic. I'll never watch it. So at some point I got to get rid of this piece of shit. And then we got The Humans, which I watched with my wife. And this is like a stage play movie. And sometimes I like those, but this is just such a nothing movie. I hated all the characters. And I just didn't care about anything that was going on. Amy Schumer is insufferably bad in this movie. She's terrible. But the whole cast, like, there's some good actors in here. But they're all just so like nothing. Oh, you got freaking June. I didn't even realize June Squibb was in this film. I love June Squibb and Thelma. That's a great movie. But The Humans was terrible. And again, I bought it because I was like, I'm getting all the A24s with the slipcover. Ha ha ha. Joke's on me. Next one is a movie I really liked. Okay, I really like this movie, but this set me down a path because there could be a variety of reasons I regret something. It doesn't have to be just I don't like the movie. But Red Rock West from Cinematography. Okay, and the reason I regret this is because I had a perfectly good Blu-ray edition from Umbrella that was perfectly fine. Looked good. There's really no difference here. This is not a 4K. I don't think it's a new scan or anything like that. It is on Blu-ray for the first time in the States, but like I had a perfectly good Umbrella edition. That was nice. Great artwork. I like the artwork on this too. It's a cool like digibook. But when the cinematography line came out, I was like, oh, I'm going to start collecting for that, just like the VSUs. And then they started putting out too many. I think they're up to like 25 now in just a little over a year, which is kind of crazy. So I'm like, I can't keep up with this. I got to stop. But because I thought I needed to keep up with it, because I got the first three, I got Going South as well, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed that one. And Little Darlings I enjoyed as well. Then I started to get all of them. And I probably wasted close to $200 getting 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I haven't watched them yet. I haven't watched any of them yet. And it's like, why do I have those? I think they're all still in stock and they'll probably all be on sale for like 20 bucks, like in a future sale. So I don't necessarily regret getting this edition because it's a nice edition and I think it had some new features on it. And I really love the movie. The movie's awesome. Nicolas Cage, great kind of modern noir, almost like Western thriller. Really good movie. But I regret getting this edition because of the path that it set me on, feeling like I needed to collect all the cinematography editions when I didn't. And I wasted a lot of money doing that. So I regret getting this release just for that. All right. Next up, a couple of second sight editions, which I'll just kind of call out together right here for the sake of time. But Martin, I got caught up on the hype with this one. It's a George A. Romero film. I think it was the first time on Blu-ray and 4K. I think the last release it had, well, maybe it was from VHS. I don't know. Very long awaited release, the Second Sight put out. And I was like, oh, a vampire movie. That sounds pretty cool. George A. Romero. I watched this movie. I was, no. This is incredibly boring. It was not what I thought it was. It's more of a psychological, like introspective, like thriller type film. And it kind of gets into the area of you not really knowing what it is, but thinking you might know what it is, but you don't really know what it is. So it kind of leaves you guessing a little bit, but it's really just kind of bad. My opinion, it's definitely like the worst George Romero movie that I've seen. And I've seen Survival of the Dead. I did not like this movie like at all. I thought it was very poorly made and shot, looked like shit as well on 4K. Maybe it looked the best it ever looked, but it looked terrible, I thought, on 4K. And I just didn't like it. I just wasn't into it. So yeah, why did I get this on 4K? Big box set I spent like $50 to get. And The Changeling, and I might get some pushback for this as well, but I thought this was incredibly boring. And maybe if I rewatch this in the context of, oh, this is more like a political thriller than it is a horror film, because this movie did not scare me at all. Like even the moments that were supposed to scare me, I was just not into it. I didn't think it was very atmospheric. They kind of reveal certain things that kind of take all the tension out of it for me. And just given the hype surrounding this, like it was held up to like Exorcist, like level heights, Rosemary's Baby. It was not that good. I love George C. Scott. He's great. And the movie's like, I guess the movie's good. I just, my expectations were wrong going into it. So I maybe I'll need to rewatch this, but the reason I regret it is I had a Severin Blu-ray release, or maybe my Severin release is 4K. I think it actually might be 4K. Maybe it's Blu-ray. I don't know. But I already had a release of The Changeling, and I'm sure it was fine. And to me, this 4K didn't look too much better than the Blu-ray, because I remember comparing the two because I reviewed this. So like I already had the movie to watch, but then I got this before even watching that, and I watched this and I was like, oh, this movie's not that great. Why did I spend, again, $50 to get a 4K box set from Second Sight? Which is why I've kind of cooled it on Second Sight. I did not get, because I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to start getting all the Second Sight box sets. But I didn't get the Brood. I didn't get Scanners. I didn't get the Coffee Table. I didn't get House of the Devil. I've cooled it on Second Sight. I'm debating on maybe I'll get the Nice Guys. Maybe I won't, but I'm going to wait on it. Talk to me. I'm definitely not getting. So yeah, the last one that I regret is, and I had a good time watching these, and these looked really good on 4K. I think I watched all of them but one. Looked really good on 4K, but this Columbia Classics box set volume 4, let me tell you the main reason I regret getting this. I pre-ordered this off of Amazon, okay, for $220. and I was assuming that the price would go down and I would get a refund from Amazon. They dropped the price right after they shipped it to me, so I had to pay $220 for it. Then they dropped it to 140. They did not refund me, and it's on me. Maybe I should have returned it, bought it again. I like I said, sometimes when it comes to the mailing stuff, I just don't want to go through the hassle. Maybe I should have. Maybe that's on me. It is on me. But I pre-ordered this for 220. I shouldn't have done that. This was a set that was not going to sell out. It's not, I don't even think it's sold out now. This thing has went for like 80 bucks, I think. I think last like November it was down to 80 bucks or at least $90. I could have got it for $90. Which is why I still had not bought Volume 5. It's not sold out. It's full of a bunch of titles that I don't think a lot of people are interested in. And I'm just waiting for that one to go down to 80 or 90 bucks. Then I'll pull the trigger to have all 5. But this is a good box set. Like Starman was incredible. It has the TV show in it. The movies are great. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Kramer versus Kramer, Sleepless in Seattle, Punch Drunk Love, His Girl Friday. Really good movies in this set, but I regret it. And I love the packaging on these. That's why I continue to get it. But I didn't have to get this for $220. And they kind of screwed me on it because usually Amazon will lower the price as it releases. They'll refund you. That's not what they've been doing. So that's why you got to be a little careful with Amazon when you're assuming that they're going to drop the price, because sometimes they don't. I feel like they've gotten a little bit better at it. But back in early 2024, we were still getting used to not having Best Buy and how the prices were adjusting as we got closer to release date. And they didn't adjust the price on this one. I ended up paying $220 freaking dollars for it. So I regret getting this on release date, not necessarily regret getting the release itself. But there you have it, guys. There's more to talk about. Like I said, I may do a volume 2 of this. Let me know if you want that in the comment section below. But thank you for entertaining my nonsense again here today. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.